All right, this is a quick video walkthrough to show you how to sign up for Hands-On Labs is the company that our lab kit comes from. And then once you have purchased your kit and got your account set up, I wanted to show you how to do the labs, like how to work through those. It's really not hard, but I wanted to, if you are confused with anything, this will be helpful. So here's the video we're watching right now. There's a document it says student ordering instructions. That's going to look like this. Okay, so what you will do is the link I sent you in an email at the beginning of the semester, there was a link for ordering your lab kit. You can purchase it from the bookstore, and if you're using financial aid, that might be what you have to do. But if you did want to purchase it directly from Hands-On Labs, click on that link that was in the email that I sent you. You can also find that in the syllabus. And if you go to the Start Here tab at the top left of our Blackboard page, there's a link here for ordering Hands-On Labs. All right, so there's several options that you can do to find that. It's all the same link, like I said, in your syllabus too, if you're ordering directly from Hands-On Labs. So when you click on that, it's going to bring you to a registration page where you'll just type in your information, your name, last name, email, make a password. Remember, make it one that you can remember, because every time that you do a lab, you're going to have to log in to this website. And then once you have done that, it's going to bring you to a dashboard is what they call it. I believe, though, with our link, it's going to show you just our class. It'll be Biology 103, Section 9 is what ours is. So when you enter our class, when you click on that, you'll be brought to a page. It's going to look like this. It'll be a page with all of our lessons that we have. But in that page, in the top right, there's going to be a link that says Purchase Kit. So when you do that, that's where you will click to order your lab kit directly from Hands-On Labs. If you're not using financial aid, I think it is a little bit cheaper if you buy it directly from Hands-On Labs. All right. If you have bought your kit from the bookstore, sometimes they'll have like physical kits that you can buy and take home with you. I believe when you click on that Purchase Kit link, there's going to be an option for entering a kit code. So on your lab kit box, there's going to be a big several digit long kit code. It's going to look like a serial number. And when you type in that code, that will unlock the labs for you so that you can do them. I know I mentioned this earlier, but you have to purchase a lab kit to even do the labs. If you don't buy a lab kit, it's not going to let you even open them up, let alone turn anything in. So here's the page. I called it Hands-On Labs, and like a week before the semester started, they changed their name to Science Interactive. It's the same thing though, so don't let that scare you. So you'll type in your information, and when you sign in, it will bring you to, first, here's the dashboard, and it'll say Biology 103 section, or Biology 1 Section 9. For you, it'll look like this. Okay? All right, so before you do any of the real labs, there's a couple prerequisites that you have to do. I wanted to show you that really quickly. So getting started, this is just a prerequisite to make sure that you can use the website, basically. It says it takes 3 hours total. I promise it does not. Don't let that scare you. All right, it's got a video showing you how to unpack your lab kit just to make sure that nothing was damaged. Hands-On Labs or Science Interactive, they're really good at replacing things if they were broken, but you need to check like on the first day that you get your kit just to make sure that everything's okay and that nothing is missing. All right, all of our labs are going to have an exploration. That's what we're doing right now. This is like background information before you do the real lab. The experimentation is when you do the actual experiment, and you'll enter all your information. And then the evaluation is just where you are going to make sure that you've got everything done before you submit it. Okay, so like I said, the exploration is just giving you background information on how to print things. Here's the contact information if you need help from Hands-On Labs. Now the experimentation, this is where we'll actually do the labs. It's going to tell you what material you need to complete the lab. So this one, you're just going to need pen and pencil, sheet of paper, and then you'll do the exercise. Now this one, it's not a real experiment. It's just to make sure that you know how to use this website. So it gives you some simple tasks that you can practice on. The cool thing about this is you're not going to do the experiment and then like have a separate worksheet that you have to fill out. as you do the experiment, it's going to let you answer it as you go along. So for example, right here, showing you how to enter information. It says locate the blue data toolbar at the bottom of this page. So right here, bottom right of this page, it says click the data toolbar, click again to close it. So for this really simple first experiment or first practice, it says to record your city, state, and the time of day, and then use the internet to research what time it is in Fiji. So click on data, you'll type in your city, your state, whatever time it is, and whatever time it is in Fiji. All right, part 2. It says chemical formula of water is H2O. It's giving you practice to like enter formulas and things like that. So for part 2, I'll click on data. I'll go to data table 2. And it's going to let you fill that in. Since I've got an instructor account, I can't type anything right now, but for you, it will let you type in those formulas. Okay, so this is, like I said, just a practice for you to go through and make sure you can follow those instructions. Make sure you read everything. Don't just fill out the table and be done with it, because there will be some questions down at the bottom. So like exercise 1, do you feel confident in your ability to add data to the variety of panels? You just type yes or no. Okay. Again, this one is really simple. The real labs will be much more detailed. And then you're just going to make sure that you've completed all your work before you're done. All right. So when you're done, it will show you your results. And there you go. So pretty simple enough. All right, now the getting started, and then there's a laboratory safety. That one takes a little bit more time, but the laboratory safety is just to make sure you understand the safety rules for this lab, and hopefully we can prevent any mistakes. I've never had a student injured doing any of these labs, so let's keep that streak going. But you'll need to do both of those, getting started and lab safety. Once you have done that, if you'll notice, it says all prerequisites must be completed in order to unlock the lessons. So you have to purchase the lab kit, and you have to complete these 2 prerequisites, and then you can move on to the real experiments. All right? Okay, let's go back to the lab page. To get to Hands-On Labs, to order your lab kit, I mentioned it's in the syllabus and it's in the getting started. This right here might be the easiest way to do that though. It says click here for HOL Cloud. That's the name of our lab website. So just click on that link, and that will take you to this page right here where you're going to create your account. Now, once you've done that, like every time you need to do a lab every week, you'll just click on this link, and then it's just going to ask you to log in. Okay, so that's how we'll get to the labs. One last thing I wanted to show you, this will be really helpful. One of the one tricky things about these labs is your kit is going to come with almost all the material you need to complete the labs. The only thing you might need to provide are like perishable items, like there's 1 or 2 labs where you will need to provide milk or like a potato, things that they couldn't stick in a lab kit and ship to you because they would spoil by the time that they got to you. So I made a list for you, Hands-On Labs experiment list. If you'll open that up, it'd be a good idea to print it out too. I've got all of our experiments listed. It's got the due date. The Hands-On Labs gives you an estimated amount of time that's needed to complete the labs. So this is a guide. For a lot of students, it doesn't take this long. For some students, it might take a little longer. But this just gives you a ballpark idea of, I'm going to need about 3 hours to do this lab. So that way, you're not trying to finish it like 30 minutes before the due date and you realize, oh, I don't have enough time. All right, so here's the big one. For each of these labs, I've listed materials that you will need to supply. It says a bottle of distilled water, so here's my advice for that. Go to the grocery store, buy a gallon of distilled water for like less than $1, and that's going to be enough to last you the whole semester. Okay, this first one is probably the main one where you might have to do a little extra shopping, but you'll need an egg, milk, a russet potato. A lot of this stuff, though, is things you probably have already. So boiling water, toilet paper, or paper towel, dish soap, pen and pencil, fork, spoon, things like that. There will be a handful of things that you need to buy. So another thing you can do is, since I've given you this list at the beginning, you can just make a shopping list, and you can probably make one shopping trip and get all of the things you need for this entire semester. All right, so just keep up with that. Especially, again, pay attention to the time to complete so you'll have an idea about how long it's going to take you to do these assignments. But there you go. As you're going through that, if you run into any questions, feel free to let me know. The best advice I can give you, though, especially for labs, is try to start these as soon as you get a chance. If you are starting the lab on a Sunday night at 10 p.m., I'm not going to be much help to you at that point. But if you start on it in the middle of the week and you run into a problem, let me know and I'll be glad to help. Just another heads up, there are a couple experiments. I would read through all of these because there's a couple experiments where it's going to ask you, let's see, to do, like for this example, for this one, there's a 24-hour incubation period. It's really not bad. It just means there's one step that you have to complete 24 hours before you do the lab. For this one, you have to take potatoes and like soak them in different solutions for 24 hours. So just pay attention to those details. And if you have any questions on anything, feel free to let me know.